Here are 25 things I found in 2023 that you should check out. This video is going to have 3 sections: games, YouTubers, and movies. Also, this video was inspired off of Super Eyepatch Wolfe's My Favorite Things 2023, so check out his video. Alright, let's go. Now, this isn't a game, but a company. Chilla Arts has been going crazy this year with games like The Karaoke, Night Security, Parasocial, The Kidnap, and more recently, Jizatsu. Hope I said that right. I don't think Chilla Arts has missed once this year with the games. And Chilla Arts are usually hit or miss for me, I'm not gonna lie, but that's just me. If you don't know Chilla Arts, they make Japanese indie horror games, which are all usually a slow burn. If you haven't played any of their games, I recommend Night Security, a game where you go around in the building as a night guard, and Akamanto, where you're a young girl running from the Red Cape urban legend. Check them out. Geno Kids. Now, the only reason I know about this game is because it was having a World of Horror collab, but sadly that's gonna be in the full game, and the demo is the only thing out at the moment. But I decided to check it out anyway, because I mean, the game looked pretty cool, and it is. In this game, you play as 2 characters, and I'm assuming you get to play as 4 when the full game drops. The gameplay kind of reminds me of Devil May Cry and a little bit of Kingdom Hearts. My favorite thing about this game is while doing combos with one character, you can switch with another one mid-combo, which is pretty satisfying once you get used to it. The demo was about 30 minutes-ish, and it's free, so I mean, give it a try. Bury the Hatchet, a game where you play as Bearwater Grizzly Killer on a Halloween shift at his gas station. In this game, you take orders from customers and try to get them their order before the time runs out. But wait, there's someone in the back with the girl you killed earlier. Turns out, it's your biggest fan, and she wants to help you with the body. This game had me hooked the whole way through, and it's pretty funny with some twists and turns. As you can tell, the art style is also pretty heat, and surprisingly, a game with this much quality is free on itch.io. Not only that, but the soundtrack has some bops. In 2023, I finally got around to reading House of Leaves, is what I would say if I did. I bought this book and I don't think I read a single page, but on to the next best thing, Doom My House. Now, I've never played Doom, but I've only heard great things about this mod, so I bought Doom 2 and tried it out for myself. And man, I think this is one of those things where you have to try at least once for yourself. You can play this mod without any knowledge on Doom, and I strongly recommend you play this as blind as possible. Recently, I realized there's a whole other big ending to the game that I haven't even done yet. So yeah, there's more than one ending. Milk Inside a Bag of Milk Inside a Bag of Milk, a game where you help a girl with social anxiety buy some milk. I really like this game's art style and also just like how unsettling it can be. This is another game where I just feel like you really just gotta experience it yourself. The game is only 49 cents, and as short as it is, I feel like it's worth every penny. There's also another game called Milk Outside a Bag of Milk Outside a Bag of blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if it's a sequel or if it's just its own thing, but I'll definitely be checking it out soon. As I've heard, it's even better than Milk Inside a Bag of Milk. Now, this game isn't out yet, but I just thought it looked cool and I wanted to share it. The Tower of Tears. I can't really say anything about this game since, like I said, it isn't out, but I mean, hey, look at this little guy go. And you can wishlist the game on Steam, so yeah. Basilisk 2000 is a game where you play it in the game's editor, which is just one of the most creative things I've ever seen in an indie game. The game inside of the game was made by an unknown company, but it was recently discovered by a fan that was able to get it running through the game's editor. In this game, you have to try and find what Basilisk 2000 was about, but also find the secrets to the company behind it. And let me just say, what happened in that company was crazy. Now, there's also Basilisk the original game, and you should play that one before Basilisk 2000 as they connect to each other, but Basilisk 2000 is definitely way deeper than the original one. I would be lying if I said I played this myself. I watched Sagan Hawk's video on it, and I kind of wish I didn't and just played it for myself, but I also know that if I played the game myself, I would not have found as much stuff as he did. So go watch his video or play it yourself. Shasty, a game where all you do is type to see the full story. Now, this game has some mixed reviews on Steam, but honestly, I found it pretty relaxing. I put on some nujabes and started mashing away at my keyboard. Yeah, that's really it to this game. Now, I'm pretty sure you're typing a real story that makes actual sense, but I'm gonna be honest, about 5 minutes in, I stopped caring. But it was chill. I mean, I was really just sitting there just typing my heart out. Now, you might say, why not just go into Google Doc and mash there? And to you, I say, yeah, I don't have anything to say. You're right. From the person that made I'm Scared. Mirror Layers is a game where you get help from real online players on the web to help solve mysteries and puzzles around your apartment, while also running from monsters that are trying to chase you. Now, this is probably the coolest game I played all year, and I'm only about 1:30 into it. You can download items from the computer that other players send you, and take it into the real world for a chance to help you solve a puzzle. I highly recommend you try this one out. Let's find Larry's Germ Foods newest game. That name and this art style might look very familiar to you, because it's by the same person that made Night of the Consumers. Let's Find Larry is a Where's Waldo's type game that only gets more insane as it goes on. None of the levels are really hard, I would say, but sometimes you just have to sit there and look at the monstrosity in front of you. I don't think this game is better than Night of the Consumers, especially considering that I think Night of the Consumers is one of the best indie games of all time, but I also think it's a good follow-up, and I'm excited for what more Germ Food has to offer. Also, don't waste your time trying to get a second ending because there's only one. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone has heard of this game by now, but it's for a good reason. Lethal Company is the best multiplayer game of 2023, and it's not even close. This game is is honestly the most fun I've ever had playing a game with friends. In this game, you go around collecting items to sell in order to meet your quota. At first, not gonna lie, from the outside looking in, I thought it was kind of lame that the interior design is the same every time, except for the mansion, but the rooms are randomly generated. It really is a different experience every time. The monsters in this game make some of the most terrifying moments and hilarious I've ever personally had playing a game. Now, I can't really recommend this to someone that doesn't have friends and wants to play solo, but I mean, hey, you do you. If there's a will, there's a way. To wrap up the game section, I Live Under Your House is a game where you play as a creature. You live under a house that's being constructed until it's finally finished and you decide to explore the person's newly built home. This game is pretty disgusting due to its nightmarish art style and can easily make you feel uncomfortable at times. Although the base game is good, I think the DLC is even better, where instead of being the creature underneath the house, you are now the human above it. If you have claustrophobia, you might want to sit this one out, but the ending for this DLC is pretty disturbing and honestly it's pretty sad, so check it out. Redline is my favorite content creator of the year. He's one of those that only makes a video every few months or so, but when he does upload, you know it's going to be something at the most highest quality. He makes iceberg videos and just other types of long form content. But my favorite series he's ever done is definitely the Exploring Dead Games one. He recently uploaded about 5 days ago, so go watch him. Sagan Hawks or Sagan Hawks, hopefully it's one of those. I mentioned him early with Basilic 2000. If you're into video essays and retrospectives of unknown and known topics, this would definitely be my go-to. The way he talks about something that would just have easily breezed over my head if I experienced it myself is extremely engaging and entertaining. If I had to recommend a video of his, it would be his digital horror Ghost in the Machine. He also makes music that he often uses in the background of his videos. Marco Cardenas, also hope I'm saying that right, is definitely my favorite anime of the year, maybe even of all time. Even though he only has about 7 animations up on his channel, the few that are up are amazing. The ones I love the most are with Live, with a series of 2 videos being up and a 3rd one in the works. I also really like Dopamine. The music and animation just brings everything to life. It's crazy to me that he only has close to 3K subs, so go show him some love. If I had to recommend a video, it would be all of them, because I mean they're all pretty short. Now if you can make me care about something I have no intention of checking out in the first place, I would say you're automatically going to be up there in terms of entertainment. And that's exactly what Pointless Hug does. Bro be talking about Transformers and disaster films, but he somehow finds a way to make it extremely entertaining. With his sarcastic humor and great edits, he finds a way to make me hooked on videos every time. If I had to recommend a video, it would be his The Boys comics were kinda terrible. If you're like me and a big Zelda fan, you probably have already watched or at least stumbled across a Zeltic video. When Tears of the Kingdom was about to release, which I still have not beat, my love for Zelda was back. I was watching every single Zeltic video that was out to get hyped for the game. Zeltic has some of the most interesting video topics. He always finds a way to make a Zelda game look deeper than what is shown on the surface. If I had to recommend a video, it would be his Happy Mask Salesman one. Adobe in a Minute is great if you're an editor that's new to Premiere Pro. His videos are always straight to the point and he doesn't drag talking about some random nonsense. The amount of time this man has saved me is insane. Board Games Community not only creates great YouTube videos, but he also has some good recommendations if you're looking for an amazing indie horror game. Twitter is where I first found him and then I started following him on Steam. If I'm ever looking for a new horror game to play, I'm always sure to check his page for something new. Finally, Joel G is another animator. He makes animated videos on Aina and others, but his Aina animations always stick out the most to me. Every time I watch one of the videos in the series and the video ends, I have to sit there and really wonder, what did I just watch? But they're always fun and really random. Every character has something unique about them and their own charm that makes them memorable. Also, Marco helps animate these animations. They have a game coming out next year called Aina Dream BBQ, so add it to your wish list. Godzilla -1. Now I've already made a video on this movie before, but this honestly might just be my favorite movie of the year, and that's coming from someone who has never really been interested in kaiju films. But if you haven't already, you need to check out this film. It's emotional, exciting, and honestly just a good time. I definitely recommend it. Now I didn't really watch any new anime this year, but Jujutsu Kaisen Shibuya might have made JJK be my top 5 of all time. Watching this weekly was the most painful experience ever, with each episode ending with a cliffhanger and somehow being better than the last one. I can definitely see why people would hype up this arc when the first JJK season ended, because it is one to remember. Recently I've been trying to expand my views with anime. That's when I found Surreal Experience of Lane. This show is a ride, with every episode becoming more unhinged than the last. This show is about Lane, someone who's become obsessed with the online world known as The Wire, and that's all I'm gonna say. Go watch it. The Twilight Zone is a show that started back all the way in 1959. Now that may be intimidating, and I know it's in black and white, but the Twilight Zone is really timeless, with some of the most interesting scenarios I've ever seen in fiction. Each episode tells a different story about someone that's stuck in the Twilight Zone. These stories can range from being a world all alone by yourself to jumping into a TV screen and living out the old days of you being in Hollywood. I would say if it's ever late night and you have nothing to do, just throw this on and you won't regret it. Daria is about a girl just living her high school life with her best friend Jane and sister Quinn, and many other recurring characters. Honestly, I low-key forgot what made me even put on this show. I think one day I just saw a clip and started watching it from there. But I mean, hey, I'm glad I did. This show can be extremely real at times as you see Daria go through her high school life, but it can also be hilarious with its sarcastic and dark humor. And I really like it. It's a nice show to pull on when you're just chilling. RIP the Paramount Method. Again, shout out to Super Eyepatch Wolfe, link in the description for his video, and also every other YouTuber I mentioned. Hope you guys found at least one new thing from this video that you're interested in, and if you did, let me know which one. I also hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe for more, and have a good new year.